Hi, everybody. This is Tanya from Tango Business Coaching, and we are on day 23 of our 30-day leadership challenge, and we are entering now into the last segment, which is about leading larger teams or leading organizations. And we start today with delegation. Now, delegation could have easily gone into the leading others segment, but I've put it here for a reason. And that's because I often believe, and I think based on what I've seen in research, delegation gets bottlenecked at the top. So it is an essential piece that needs to be cascaded all the way down through the organization. Because when you're in a senior leadership position, you likely have one, two, three, or more layers between you and those frontline employees. So I think the assumption is that delegation is happening throughout, but really it's kind of like blocked right at the top. So that is the myth. This work, the responsibilities are not being cascaded down to the appropriate level. So everybody's sort of working at a level that is not quite as senior as it needs to be, right? So much like the last video, so day 22 was about setting expectations. And we talked about that. It is never enough to assume that leaders are going to do what's expected of them, right? So proper delegation, proper follow-up is 100% required. I would say another observation I have in this vein is that at the senior leadership level, they often continue to hang on to pieces of work that really just don't fit inside their roles or responsibilities. So either it's because they really like that piece of work, and when they got promoted or came into the role, they really just wanted to do that part of the work, and they're really comfortable with it and probably really good at it. So they just kept it, and it might not actually sit at the right responsibility level, right? The other reason why they might not be letting go of is they just don't trust their team, or maybe believe that they have somebody on their team who's capable of performing this work, especially if it's something they're really good at. So in either case, somebody in a senior leadership role who's hanging on to something they shouldn't really needs to let go of it, really needs to find a way to trust in their team to work on that stuff, and allow themselves to be working on more senior level work like strategy and development and various other things that happen at a senior level. I love this quote by John C. Maxwell. So he says, if you want to do a few small things right, do them yourself. If you want to do great things and make a big impact, learn to delegate. So that's why we're talking about this at the senior level. So what can you do? So there's a bunch of tactical things that can happen, but I think for the senior leadership level, it starts with two major things that you can take on. One is to really assess your workload. Like, really get in there and look at all of the various responsibilities and things that you're working on, and decide, are there things in here that I shouldn't be doing? Really, like at my level, should I really continue be doing the things that I'm doing? Would it be helpful if I could offload this responsibility or this piece of work? Would it be helpful to me if I could relinquish that and trust somebody else to do that? Would it work with the work or those responsibilities? Would those be a learning and growth opportunity for somebody else on the team? And are they ready for that? So that's kind of the first bucket, is to really do a good assessment of your own role and responsibilities and get really honest with yourself about that. When you're first assessing this, don't consider whether you have people available and whether they can take on the work or whether they're skilled or any of that kind of stuff. Just look at it from a perspective of should I be doing this kind of work at my level? And then I would say the second bucket of work around this is to check in with yourself and your mindset around this. Ask yourself why you haven't delegated this work so far. What is getting in your way? Is there a belief or a thought pattern that needs to adjust? Is what you're telling yourself true? Is it factual, or are you making assumptions? And there might be some very valid reasons, especially in this labor market. I understand maybe some very valid reasons why you're continuing to do the work that you're doing. Nonetheless, like, what is the plan to offload it as soon as you can? So that's that's kind of the two things that I want you to think about. Once you get past those two things, then you kind of go back to day 22, to the setting expectations video, right? So you delegate those work responsibilities to the right person. You set the expectations with them on how you expect them to achieve the desired results. You continue to follow up with them. You make a plan with them to ensure that they're on the right track. You're kind and generous with them because they're probably learning something new, right? And you want to allow them the freedom to be able to, explore how they want to accomplish those tasks in a way that works for them, right? So there's no micromanaging here. Delegation is not micromanagement. So the other thing I would say is, once you figure this out and once you set the example as a senior leader, all the other leaders in the organizations are going to follow suit, especially if this is one of the things that you're holding them accountable to, right? Delegation will sweep through your organization. It will become a cultural norm for them to do this. So your challenge for today are those two steps, right? So one, assess your workload. Two, check in with your mindset set and the real reasons why you haven't been delegating so far, and come up with a plan for how you're going to delegate the work, assuming you find that you have stuff to delegate. Choose the person who you're going to delegate to, make sure they're the right person, they can take it on, and then follow the day 22 setting expectations video in terms of how you're going to do that. So good luck with you. Good luck to you on this particular topic. Check in with me as always. Let me know how it's going. If you need the 30-day challenge tracker, happy to send that over to you. And again, good luck with today's challenge. I will see you here tomorrow. Bye.